While our patients are waiting for their visa, or for those families that do have their visa available, we like to talk about preparation for your trip. And number one question we're facing is the perfect time to arrive to Canada when you're coming for delivery of the baby. We like to have our patients here at 36 weeks of pregnancy and not later. But saying that, it really depends on what type of pregnancy we're having, what type of how many babies it's going to be. Is it a twin pregnancy? Is it a regular pregnancy? Is it a first pregnancy? Or the family has several kids. So what we recommend is definitely have a suggestion and advice from your doctor that's been seeing you already. Also, it depends how far are you flying from us, because some airlines have restrictions. And also, if it's a second or third pregnancy, we like to invite you a little bit earlier. If it's a twin pregnancy, we ask you to be here before 33 weeks, because it's known for twins to be delivered earlier. So we recommend to start with sending us your lab work. We send it to the chat and communicate it further about it. With this lab work, we can sit down on a Zoom call and discuss the best possible time for you to arrive. And also with this lab work, we register you with the doctor and we register you with the proper hospital. We will be speaking about hospitals and doctors in future videos, how to locate the best one. But in order for us to start the process, we would need to get all your medical records up to date and do the registration. Some people always, especially after the COVID time, asking us about immunization. So at the time of the COVID, there is obviously people had to have COVID vaccines. Right now, it's not mandatory, not expected from anybody to have it. However, there is some immunization calendar for pregnancy that you might be doing home. It's not requested in Canada, but for those that did not do those vaccines at home and want to do it in Canada, we need to know about this ahead of time, because those vaccines are done only by family doctors, and we would need to make a special request for that service. But once again, no immunizations are required. It's up to you if you want to get something that is missing in your pregnancy history. And of course, some families arrive together with older kids, husbands, and some families make a decision to have the wife here to be alone. And we would like to talk about it as well, because we see that 70% of our patients are coming without family members. It's obviously important to understand at which season, because winters are pretty crazy in Canada. The weather, especially in February and March, is tough. That's when we pick a place to live. We talk about it, the weather as well. But what we're noticing, that people that coming alone actually enjoy their time at the beginning. Before the delivery, they have a little bit of a vacation from the family and from all the running errands at home. But after the delivery, it's getting a little bit tougher. So we speak about potential nanny, potential lactation specialist, and everybody that can be helping you. And also our main goal is to get the documents right away, so you can be reunited with your family. However, as I mentioned, 70% of our clients arriving alone. So this is the reason why we exist. We are there with you at the delivery. We are there with you throughout the process of documentation. Any concerns with the baby and your sleep after the delivery. So you're definitely not going to feel alone. We are in touch with your family in case we need to share any information and you're not available to do so. So that is basically the main reason for our services, to be there for you and to be there for your family. If you are arriving with older children, and you want to sign them up for daycare or private school, that's something that we need to discuss as well ahead of time. And once we do that, we can organize a daycare or a school. And of course, I'm coming to the biggest question that every family is asking us about border arrival and the questions at the border when you're coming pregnant. So I will start with one main information, that there's no rule telling that pregnant lady is not allowed to come to Canada. So you're not obeying any rules. You're not against the law, but there's no information supporting to come for a specific reason of delivering the baby. And that's basically the challenge and the confusion that most families have. So what we like to do is we prepare you for the questions they require at the border. But if you did the visa application with us, we probably speak about it ahead of time and discuss all the details. But if you reached out to us already having your visa, it is very important to understand what was the main goal of your arrival. If the main goal was a tourism, then whenever you're at the border and they're asking you for the reason of travels, it has to be tourism as well. If you said you were coming to see family or you're coming for an event, that's exactly the same reason you should provide to them. The agent who's interviewing you, and we hear from our clients that who traveling a lot, that our borderline is actually one of the most pleasant ones and pretty quick. But the agent that is asking you questions, he needs to understand, number one, where are you going to be living? So they know your address and you have to have it handy. It's either electronical or printed copy. Number two, they need to know when are you planning to go back. So we strongly recommend to book tickets that you can exchange to a different date, but it's nice to have tickets because that's the main goal, to prove that you're not going to stay illegally in Canada. As mentioned in earlier videos, you are allowed to stay in Canada for 6 months. So that's another topic to discuss with them. Next one is that they need to know the goal, and if it's tourism, you have to mention which tourism. It could be a Niagara Falls, you can go check the Quebec, seeing friends, family, whichever the case may be. And they need to understand potential financial background, how much money you're bringing with you, to make sure that you're not going to leave any debts. Case by case, we sit down on Zoom and we prepare you for your family's arrival and a strategic plan about it. Please let us know if our videos are informative and educational. If something is missing, if something is confusing, we like to know about it. We like to get questions. So please reach out, and we will see you in Canada.